Aboard the Newstrack, the Prime Minister has now stepped into the Sanatan row. Days after Udhayanidhi Stalin compared Sanatan Dharma to dengue and malaria, the Prime Minister has told his Council of Ministers to counter Stalin Jr. Sources have told India Today that the Prime Minister said there is a need to respond to the Sanatan debate, but with hard facts.
சிலவற்றை நாம் ஒழிக்கத்தான் வேண்டும், எதிர்க்க முடியாது. கொசு, டெங்கு காய்ச்சல், மலேரியா, கொரோனா இதையெல்லாம் நம்ம எதிர்க்க கூடாது, ஒழித்து கட்ட வேண்டும்.
Days after Tamil Nadu Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin compared Sanatana Dharma to dengue and malaria and called for its eradication, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stepped into the controversy. The Prime Minister raised the subject in a meeting with union ministers at the cabinet on Wednesday. Top sources tell India Today the Prime Minister highlighted the need to respond effectively to the debate on Sanatana Dharma sparked by Udhayanidhi's comments. Sources say the Prime Minister advised his colleagues not to go into history but stick to the facts as per the Constitution. The ministers were advised to speak on the current situation. Meanwhile, an FIR has been registered in Rampur, Uttar Pradesh against Udhayanidhi Stalin over his remark on Sanatana Dharma. Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge has also been booked over his comments that allegedly backed Udhayanidhi Stalin.
I don't care, they can do what they want. My statement is very, very clear. It's not against any particular religion. I have very clearly stated that any religion that does not preach equality, that does not ensure the dignity of a human being is embedded in that philosophy, it is not a religion according to me.
The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's son is holding his ground and has defiantly refused to apologize or clarify. The DMK leader also targeted the Narendra Modi government over the omission of President Draupadi Murmu from the inauguration ceremony of the new parliament building.
The Honorable President Draupadi Murmu, madam, she was not invited for the opening of the parliament. Right. That is the best current example. Thank you.
No question of apology.
Somebody's apologized to me?
They demanded your apology.
No, sorry.
Stalin Jr.'s comments have sparked a backlash from the BJP.
You are lucky, Udhayanidhi Stalin. ನೀನು ಸನಾತನ ಧರ್ಮೀಯರು ಬಹುಸಂಖ್ಯಾತರು ಇರುವ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದೀಯ. ನೀ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಅರಬ್ನಲ್ಲೋ ಇರಾನ್ನಲ್ಲೋ ಇರಾಕ್ನಲ್ಲೋ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು? ಯು ಆರ್ ಲಕ್ಕಿ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೇಫ್. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಯಾರನ್ನು ಕೊಲ್ಲೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
काल इतना हिंदू के लिए इतना खतरनाक चीज बताया. If somebody would have said against Muslim and Christian, what would have been you reacted? Why he is non-secular, he is communal, he is speaking against Islam. Now, why you are speaking against Hindu?
The row over Sanatan Dharma shows no sign of ending. Now a video of Udhayanidhi's grandfather and DMK patriarch M. Karunanidhi criticizing Sanatana Dharma has gone viral.
இன்றைக்கு கூட நீங்கள் மனுதர்ம சாஸ்திரத்தை எடுத்து பிரித்து படித்து பார்த்தால் அதில் என்ன எழுதியிருக்கிறது என்றால், சூத்திரன் ஒருவன் படித்தால் அவன் நாக்கை இழுத்து வைத்து பழுக்க காய்ச்சி இரும்பால் சுட்டு பொசுக்க வேண்டும். அதில் உள்ள கருத்துக்களை கொளுத்தியவர் பெரியார், அதில் உள்ள கருத்துக்களை காலையை போட்டு மிதித்தவர் பேரறிஞர் அண்ணா, அதில் உள்ள கருத்துக்களை தூக்கி கடலில் இருந்தவர் டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர். இவர்களை எல்லாம் நீங்கள் மறந்துவிட முடியாது.
FIR registered against Tamil Nadu Sports Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin, and FIR also registered against Rural Development and IT Minister of Karnataka Priyank Kharge for making controversial statement against Sanatan Dharma. The FIR registered against them have mentioned that the statements made by these ministers have hurt the religious sentiments of Hindus. With video journalist Madhu Sagairaj reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
Meanwhile, the Bharat versus India debate continues to rage on. Top government notifications accessed by India Today show Prime Minister Modi being referred to as the Prime Minister of Bharat at the BRICS and the ASEAN Summit. The opposition alliance though claims that the government is using Bharat as a sign of fear.
It all started with one presidential invitation that surfaced in the public domain ahead of the G20 this week. As it turns out, the adoption of Bharat instead of India at the highest level of governance began last month. Prime Minister of Bharat mentioned unambiguously on government notifications for Prime Minister Modi's visit to South Africa and Greece, August 22nd to 25th. I-cards for Indian officials changed for the global event ahead in New Delhi. They're now identified as Bharat officials at the G20 platform.
India, that is Bharat. It is there in the constitution. Please, I would invite everybody to read it. I think when you say Bharat, in a sense, a meaning and a understanding and a connotation that comes with it, and that is reflected in our constitution as well.
With the constitution making no distinction between India and Bharat, it's officially the Prime Minister of Bharat attending the 20th ASEAN-India Summit in Indonesia. The opposition, however, has termed the official switch from India to Bharat a drama stemming from what it called the Modi government's confusion over the India nomenclature adopted by 28 anti-BJP parties. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party invoked the Dalit question. MP Sanjay Singh described the move to prioritize Bharat over India as an expression of antipathy to Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, the father of the Indian Constitution.
ये कहीं न कहीं बाबा साहब डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर का घोर अपमान है, क्योंकि बाबा साहब ने जो संविधान लिखा उसकी पहली धारा उन्होंने लिखी, इंडिया दैट इज भारत शैल बी यूनियन ऑफ स्टेट्स, और उसी संविधान के ऊपर मोदी जी ने शपथ ली है.
The DMK down south called the switch a sign of the ruling party's fear of the India alliance.
We are really feeling very much happy that how scared the BJP is by the name India.
In the West, Uddhav Thackeray's Sena insisted the collective opposition precisely aimed to protect the Bharat-India democracy. In the East, opposition leaders also mounted a synchronized attack on the government.
जो नामकरण जो गठबंधन का हुआ है, इससे इतने ये लोग डरे हुए हैं कि नाम जो है बदल रहे हैं. बताइए, अब इंडिया नाम लेने में भी कतरा रहे हैं. किस बात का डर है भाई?
इंडिया नामटा नामे सारा विश्व চেনে, হঠাৎ এমন কি হলো আজকে দেশের নামটাও চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাবে?
The country's political establishment locking horns over the nation's nomenclature just when the world's largest democracy is set to host global powers for a key international event. Bureau Report, India Today.
The countdown has begun to the G20 Summit. By this time tomorrow, US President Joe Biden would have arrived in New Delhi. The venue for the mega global conference is the Bharat Mandapam at Pragati Maidan. The big highlight there is a 29 feet statue of Lord Rattled, which is going to greet all the visitors.
The national capital is decked up for the power-packed G20 Summit. A massive beautification drive has been undertaken by the civic authorities over the last few months, further enhancing the grandeur of the historic city of Delhi. Apart from the cleanliness drive, art pieces and several eye-catching water fountains are put up. World's tallest Nataraja statue stands at the entrance of the convention hall at the Bharat Mandapam, the venue of the upcoming G20 Summit in Delhi. It took a special green corridor and support of several states to bring the 27-foot-tall Nataraja single-cast statue from Swami Malai in Tamil Nadu's Tanjavur to Delhi. The Ashtadhatu statue is truly one of its kind, made using the traditional sculpting technique, the lost wax casting method of the Chola period. Around 82% of copper, 15% bronze and 3% lead, along with small amounts of gold, silver, tin and mercury were utilized. Weighing 19 tons, the statue was built over a period of 6 months by 18 craftsmen. Crafted by S. Devasenathipati, Thapati sons of Swami Malai Tamil Nadu, the statue shows Lord Shiva performing the dynamic dance posture called Tandava, which exudes energy and vitality.
இது வந்து இப்ப நான் பண்ணிருக்க நடராஜர் வந்து உலகத்திலேயே பெரிய நடராஜர். இவ்வளவு 10-12 டன்ல பண்ணியிருக்கேன். இதனுடைய அமைப்பு வந்து நான் தஞ்சாவூர் பெரிய கோயிலுடைய நடராஜரையும் சிதம்பரம் டெம்பிள் உள்ள நடராஜரையும் இதுபோல ஒரு வேலூர் ஜலகண்டேஸ்வரர் கோயிலில் உள்ள நடராஜரையும் சேர்த்து வச்சு தான் இந்த சிலையை நான் வடிச்சிருக்கேன். இது வந்து குறுகிய காலம், எனக்கு வந்து 3 வருஷம் டைம் கேட்டேன். 6 மாசத்துல முடிச்சது வந்து பெரிய ஒரு சாதனை.
Apart from the Nataraja, numerous statues and posters adorn the city, showing the diversity of the country. The G20 Summit is scheduled for September 9th and 10th. US President Joe Biden, French President Emmanuel Macron, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva are among the G20 leaders who will participate in the G20 Summit. Bureau Report, India Today.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is in the line of fire in Beijing. Xi Jinping, as President of China, head of the Central Military Commission and General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, is considered the most powerful man in China after Chairman Mao. However, a report in Nikkei Asia claims Xi got an unprecedented reprimand from party elders for the Chinese economy being in a tailspin, the collapse in the real estate sector and the purge in the PLA rocket force. The report also suggests Xi Jinping is staying away from the G20 as he fears facing tough questions on the state of the Chinese economy.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is in the line of fire at home. Considered the most powerful leader in China after Chairman Mao, Xi Jinping, according to a report in Nikkei Asia, was reprimanded by elders of the Chinese Communist Party over the economic situation in China and rising joblessness. The elders, led by former Vice President Zheng Qinghong, made their displeasure very clear. The report says the Communist Party fears it could face unprecedented threat to its rule if the turmoil continues. This is the first time that the Chinese president, who is also the head of the Central Military Commission and the General Secretary of the Communist Party, has faced this kind of wrath of the elders.
At the core of what is happening in China is that the people don't trust their government. So the most significant statistic I've seen about the Chinese economy is that in the last 5 or 7 years, household savings have gone up 50%. In other words, people are putting their money in savings accounts. Effectively, they're hiding it in mattresses. Why? Because they don't believe the government will be able to handle the real estate situation. They don't believe the government will be able to handle the debt overhang. And most importantly, they don't believe the government is being honest with them.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is also in the line of fire for trouble in China's elite rocket force after a purge of top generals. In the first week of August, President Xi Jinping dismissed 2 of the senior-most generals in the People's Liberation Army rocket force, which oversees China's land-based missile and nuclear arsenal, reportedly on allegations of corruption. The double whammy of troubled economy and purge in the rocket force has hit Chinese morale.
चीन एक देश के रूप में एक विस्तारवादी देश है, हमेशा नेगेटिव डिप्लोमेसी का प्रयोग करता है और आज सिर्फ अमेरिका ही नहीं, पूरा विश्व इस बात को मान रहा है कि G20 जैसे जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंच हैं, वहां शिरकत ना करके या जब एक कंसेंसस बन रही होती है किसी मुद्दे को लेकर के उसमें शामिल ना होकर के चीन इस तरह के मंचों को हतोत्साहित करने का काम करता है.
Sluggish economy and declining foreign investment are not President Xi Jinping's only troubles, according to the report. President Xi is
seen to be skipping the G20 Summit in India to avoid losing face. He fears China's economy and need for rules-based order may be discussed at the summit, where he may increasingly feel isolated in the meeting of democracies. Xi Jinping fears facing tough questions on the Chinese economy. To add to China's troubles, there has been no breakthrough in the stalled talks with the United States, despite the visit of US Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo. Xi Jinping not coming for the G20 summit clearly puts China in the dock. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where we wrap up the Newstrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, which is when Joe Biden will hopefully be in the country and the G20 Jamboree would be set to begin. So do track our coverage all weekend long on India Today. Rajdeep Sardesai comes up next with News Today.